Hi guys, this is Tia, and today I wanted to do a chit chat, get ready with me type of video. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is start with these brows, because you see they have a mind of their own. Oh, guess what? I have like some exciting news. Guess what? I passed my state real estate licensing exam, so I'm a licensed real estate agent. Yay! But anyway, what I'm using now is my Anastasia Dip Brow. The shade that I'm using is medium brown. Okay, so what I like to do is just kind of trace my brow in. I'll probably do the other one off camera just to save time, because you know I'll get the talking and this video will be like 12 hours long. So I'm so excited. The camera went out of focus, but this is my brow now that it's kind of filled in, and then I always take my spoolie just to kind of make it not look so defined or so dark, and just kind of brush it out to make it look a little more natural. Okay, I'm going to do this one off camera and I'll come back. And my brows are now like filled in, and so now I'm going to kind of make them a little more defined. I'm going to use this NYX concealer and this little e.l.f. brush. And I'm just going to go right up under, and then to thin it out, let's just pull down. So now that I have that in, I'm going to go in with this Real Technique sponge and then just kind of like buff it out a little bit to blend it into my skin. Normally I like to apply my brows before I put anything on my face as far as moisturizer, primer, and all of that stuff, just because I feel like the dip brow or whatever I'm using for my brows adheres a little bit. So I'm going to apply this Cetaphil lotion. And something that I do like to do is like the areas where my pores stand out more, which for me are here and my nose, and then like right here on my chin. I like to go in with either the Benefit Professional or this Dr. Brandt's No More Pores, and smooth that just in those areas, and then I'll put a primer on. So I'm taking it on my fingers and I'm just gonna mash it in there. It's the Baby Skin Maybelline. It's the Instant Pore Eraser. I love this stuff. Anyway, I'm just going to put that all over the rest of my face and smooth my face out. Okay, so this is how I'm getting rid of my dark circles. As you can see and will see, as the winter approaches, I get more and more pale. Like my tan completely fades and I always lose my color, which means my dark circles pop out more. Those of you who have asked me before, I think I've mentioned it in a few videos before or in the comments, these dark circles I have, as you can see, are pretty prominent and they're all over my eyes, and people think that I have black eyes, but this is actually like permanent scarring or bruises from a car accident when I was little. We were hit by a drunk driver. I was like 8 years old, and the seat flew back. Like our car, we was like icy outside and we were on a bridge, and our car, like when he hit us, it was like a Mack truck, and he hit us, and then our car like spun around really fast on the bridge and almost actually flew off the bridge. So thank you, Jesus, for my life every time I think about that. As the car was spinning, the seat actually flew, my mom's seat, I was sitting behind her, and she was driving, and the seat flew back from the impact and hit me in the eyes, and my eyes were like swollen shut I couldn't even open my eyes probably for like 3 or 4 days. That is what this is from. But anyway, I'm actually using this LA Girl Pro Concealer. Now, I only use a little bit of this because I feel like it's so orange with my pale skin. The orange, I feel like, shows too much under my makeup, so I just kind of like dab a little bit on there. And then I also combine it with this. This is my baby. This is the NYX Dark Circle Corrector in the shade Medium. I add this to that to balance out the dark circles and try and hide them actually. So I do that actually before I apply any makeup on. But anywho, thank you all so much for all of the great wishes for my anniversary. My husband, if you saw a couple of previous videos that I posted before, I had shared that my husband and I just made 17 years of marriage. happy marriage. So much love for that, so I want to tell y'all thank y'all so much. And I've also gotten questions like, how do we make it work? Like, what makes us stay together? How is it? First and foremost, God. I can't take nothing away from God. Jesus, we keep him at the forefront and the center and of our relationship. I do believe that having both that God-fearing love and devotion, and we also came into our marriage saying we're only getting married once. This is it. This is forever. We came in committed to stay loyal and faithful and love each other. That doesn't mean that everything is always hunky-dory and he's like my favorite person, which he is my favorite person, but there are times when I don't like him and he probably doesn't like me sometimes. He better not tell me that. But I really just, I would say, like, 1, communication, 2, making sure that you stay friends. So that's part of the communication piece. I think a lot of times it's easy to drift off. Before I keep talking, I want to show you, this is my favorite. This has become, my daughter actually turned me on to this. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Glow. Now, I had tried the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte before, and it was so dry. Like, immediately when I put it on my skin, I felt like it like sucked all the life out of my skin. So I returned it, and so I never tried this, but she tried it and loved it and told me I should try it. I do have to mix 2 shades though, so I mixed 208 and 209 to get my correct color. I mean, we get mad at each other, and you know, of course it's easy, we're human, to lash out, but I think it's important just to make sure that you're not fighting dirty, if that makes sense. Even though I may want to call him a name, I don't, and he may want to call me a name, I don't. We just don't do that. And we never use the D word, which is divorce. Like, that never comes up in an argument. That's off limits. So anyway, I'm just mixing up those 2 shades on the back of my hand to get my color. And then now I'm gonna smooth it onto my face. But you'll get to see like why I love this. You'll see like the application of it is so flawless. It blends out so pretty, and I love it. Again, like, making sure that you keep everything fresh and love. And I mean, we're not the best at always making sure, but we do try to make sure that we keep each other first. Making sure that we both get the attention that we need. Of course, we slack. We're humans. But we always try to catch ourselves before we get too far, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this Morphe M439 brush, and I'm just going to pack it on and blend it out. So it's like the little things like that, making sure that we stay a team and don't fight dirty. We communicate. We tell each other everything. He truly is my best friend. And I think that those are some of the things that are successful. And so now I'm going in with my Real Technique sponge, and this will help me to kind of just blend it and give it more of an airbrush natural finish. Okay, so for my concealer, I'm actually using my Old Faithful, which is my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. So you can see I'm making a triangle. I have learned if I do it like this, where I don't go all the way up under my eye, then it's a little less cakey under there. I like to just make it triangle and then leave this little gap underneath the eyes. And then as I'm blending it out, I'll blend it up into the eye. So as I'm letting this set, I do like to kind of let it set and not necessarily dry, but just kind of set on there, so that as I blend it blends out with staying power, and my sponge doesn't pick it up. But now I'm going in with my L'Oreal Age Rewind concealer in the shade Medium, and I will do the rest of my highlight with this. So this one's dark and this one's lighter, so I do like kind of to twist it up a little bit and add a little bit of this on top of the Naked Skin. So I just kind of go over that just to make it blend all out together. And then now I will go in with my sponge and begin to blend it in. So to set my foundation, I like to use one of these two foundation powders. This is my MAC C6 Studio Fix powder, and this is the Ruby Kisses No More Blemishes powder in the shade Golden Glow. But this one's all cracked and beat up, so I'm going to go in with my MAC C6. This one is only the difference, let me tell you the difference. I love them both equally. This one's only $4.99 at your local beauty supply store. This, of course, is like 20 something, 25, 28 maybe, something like that. Because that one's broken, I'm going to default to my MAC. And now for contour, I'm going in with my Morphe. I love this palette. I need to order another one. This is the Morphe 06F Outer Palette. As you can see where I'm hitting pan, this is the one that I use mostly to do my contour. I do sometimes use these two powders mixed together to set my under eye. And I always use this little Wet n Wild brush. I think I paid like $1 for it, but as you can see, and I always like squeeze it in half like that to make my contour, and then just use it as fluffy to do the contour around my forehead and okay, so now I'm going to go in. I just like to do this just more as I don't know, I guess not necessarily a finishing set, but just over the places where I highlighted, so you see where it like creases a little bit. This is the NYC Smooth Skin Translucent Powder. So as you can see, I always do it on a damp sponge. To me, it blends out the best. And I just kind of go over and set my eye because my eyes tend to crease. And as you can see, what I like about it, because I've tried other setting powders before and they make my face look ghost white, and I don't like that, but this one blends right into the skin. So I'm really just going over every place that I highlighted with this. I'm going in with bronzer. This is actually my favorite bronzer. This is, excuse the glare, it's the Lorac Tantalizer bronzer. It's the highlighter matte bronzer duo. As you can see, it hit pan. I never use the highlighter, but I love this bronzer. I like to do this just to add color back to my face and look a little more sun-kissed, if you will. I do it on the temples, go down around the cheek, and then hit the contour area and just blend it up onto the cheek, and then down here and go onto my neck. Okay, and so because I get, my eyes do crease a little bit more, I have very hooded eyes. I always take my Naked Basics palette and I use these two shades, which are Foxy and Walk of Shame. And I just put it right here on my lower lid just to keep it from looking creasy. And I don't put a lot, I really just want to kind of blend it in there. That helps to keep it from looking creasy and adds a little bit of lightness to my eyes. And then what I do like about it, it makes, because I do have the dark circles and the hooded eyes, and with me only putting it here and here, it always makes me makes it look as though I did some eyeshadow look, and I actually really didn't. I just kind of mattified this portion right here. I'm going to set my eyebrows in place. I always use this e.l.f. brow mascara or whatever it is. It provides great hold and keeps my brows in place and keeps them from being all over the place or smudging or looking smeared and rough. just wanting more of a everyday like bronzy look, so the shade I'm going to be using is Spice Rum. This is in LA Colors. I get them from the beauty supply store for like $2.99. They're so pigmented, it's ridiculous. So literally I just kind of tap my brush into it. One of my final powder touches, and this helps to also blend everything that I've done on my face together so that it looks very smooth and well blended, is I always do this NYX, the Set It Don't Fret It powder in the shade Medium Dark. I love this. I've been using it forever. This is like one of my ride or die powders. And so I just take a brush like this, a fluffy powder brush, and I just blend it all in, and I make sure that I keep blending it into my skin, because the more blending it makes everything a little more cohesive, if you will. So I think I'm going to go with these. These are some that I order off of eBay. I actually ordered a different style, but for some reason they sent me these, but these are very similar, so I'm not going to be hurt. I think I paid like $3 for this box with 3 sets. I love these lashes. They look so natural. Okay, so my lashes are on. Forgive my eyes. Every time I put lashes on or like have to hold my eyes open, they like water like crazy. Forgive my eyes. So my lashes are on. These are definitely a different style of lash, but they still are okay. I won't complain. Good everyday lash. So I'm actually going to take this Physicians formula. This is one of my favorite eyeliner pencils. If you are like trying to learn how to do eyeliner, this is a great pencil. It's not matte, a matte finish, but I love this because I feel like I have so much control with it, and it's so freaking pigmented. I think I paid like $9 for it. But I always go in and kind of trace in my lash line, not to necessarily make a wing liner, but just to trace over the lash line. So I'm actually going to take this mirror to look and see what I'm doing. And I really just want to do that to kind of hide the lash band. But you see how like precise it is? Okay, if you're looking for a good, inexpensive setting spray, this is one of my favorites. I get this from Walmart. This is by the brand Hard Candy. I want to say Walmart is the only place that it's sold, but it's $6. You get a 2.2 flow ounce bottle. I love it. So I'm going to spray this all over my face before I do my highlight. I like to do the highlight on top of the setting spray just because it tends to pop a little bit more, and I'll show you what I'm using for highlight. But I use this because you see how like powdery my face looks and like washed out. When I add this, it melts the powder and the liquid foundation, all of it, everything that I did together, and just makes it look seamless and not so powdery and matte. This is the City Color Highlight Trio, and I'm going to use this center portion. I love this, their highlights. They really have some nice highlights. But I'm going to use this one, and then I'm actually going to go over it with another one. It gives me like the perfect glow, but you can see how pretty that is. Okay, so you can see I still have like a little dampness on my face. I'm using this Coastal Scents fan brush. So now I'm going in with this sheer cover. You can't even see the thing, but it's called sheer cover. It's their illuminating bronzing minerals, and this one is peach bronzing minerals. And so I just like to add this on top because it just like adds that extra oomph and pop and dimension to the highlight. Okay, so I've decided to wear this scarf. And since it's so close to my lips, I don't want to do a bold lip. I'm going to allow the scarf to be the pop of color. So I'm just going to do my normal nude lip. Putting on a little EOS first. This is like my favorite thing ever. This is the Mally Beauty Lip Magnifier in the shade Nude. And this is my favorite nude lip. And then on top of that, I'm adding this NYX lip gloss in the shade Cafe. And I usually just put this right in the center. and this is the final look. The great thing is I let my hair down, my curls still look great. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this look and this chit chat. Get ready with me. Anywho, I love you all. Follow me on Snapchat, tots5678, on Instagram at tots_5678, and Facebook, Twitter, everywhere else, tots5678. I love you all. Thanks again. Don't forget to subscribe.